Okay, so good afternoon to all of you. And today we are going to, and first of all, a happy new year to all of you. So today we are going to talk on the topic of virtual private network, that is VPN. So the virtual private network we are going to talk first. Wait a minute. Okay. So the topic of discussion, VPN, full form virtual private network. So what is this virtual private network? First, we will check that. Then we are going to talk on this. So this VPN or this the thing virtual private network. The scenario is we all are connected with the internet, and the internet is in the today's era that is a distributed computing. Right. So the scenario, the all the connections was made in the formation of distributed computing environment. And the VPN, this virtual private network, is there are sometimes different type of problems happening while connecting with the internet. Maybe some sites gets blocked. There are several reasons that happen. So this VPN offers a solution to the managers, means the network administrator, which consists a set of computers that interconnect by means of relatively unsecure network and that make use of encryptions and special protocols to provide security. So it happens that this VPN, it is consist of a set of computers. So first, let us talk one by one. The top point that this VPN is consist of set of computers, right? And these computers, this VPN, that set of computers, these computers are connected maybe set of computers and then all are interconnect by an unsecure network. The second term that is used here, that maybe all are interconnect with some unsecure network, right? So it happens some unsecure networks are there. So we connected with the unsecure network, and the use of encryption as special protocol. The third term here, the to provide security through some protocol from this unsecured network is the part of this VPN. So what VPN is actually a set of computers that are connected with some unsecured network, but to provide some security through some protocols with this from this unsecured network is the term called VPN. So the every office, every corporate sites, all are linked with one another, right? With one corporate site. If we take an example, there are several PCs, several desktop server, databases, workstations, all are interconnected with each other through a local networking site, obviously. So uses of this private network and also connecting with the outer world means the wide area network management, some as the ISP, the internet service provider, they are providing. So the public, the network provides an access path to connect with the species and with the outside and the inside world. So the internet administrator faces several type of requirements. What are the first requirement? The first one of the first very first requirement is that security. The term that we are going to use here, that is security, because the data is the important priority that needs to be secured. So security is one of the important terms. Use of public networking, exposing the corporate traffic to eavesdropping and provides an entry point for unauthorized user because it is connected with the inside and outside world. So any eavesdropper may get connected, may jump into the scenario seems like an authorized user, but maybe not. So these security threats are there. So to counter measure this security problem, this virtual private network is actually needed. So this VPN is using encryption and authentication in the lower protocol layers to provide a secure connection through an insecure network. So what the VPN is doing, VPN is using encryption and authentication method. So VPN is using encryption and authentication to provide, means into the lower layers, actually lower layers, to provide a secure connection through an insecure network, to provide a secure connection through an unsecured network. This is the main purpose of VPN, that using an encryption and authentication process to provide a secure connection through an unsecure network, through an insecure network we can talk. So these VPNs actually cheaper and private networks using some private lines, but some encryption or authentication systems are there at the both ends. The next part that we are going to talk regarding this, that is the distributed firewall. So whenever we are going to talk about the security part, the firewall is also a term that help us in the security, and now that have some more specification termed as distributed firewall. What this distributed firewall is doing, that it is the distributed firewall. It was configured by involving some standalone firewall devices and also the host-based firewalls working together. So two things are working together in the distributed firewall: standalone firewall devices plus the host firewall. Standalone firewall devices plus host-based firewall working together under a administrative control. So that's why it is called a resource. So centrally, the whole thing is managed. Also, in the local part, there are some local firewalls with the connection of some standalone firewall devices. So the administrator, the central administrator, can configure the host resident firewall with the help of the servers and the workstations, and configure the personal firewalls also to control the remote users. So if I actually draw a VPN security system, the VPN with the connection of the, if I talk about VPN with connection of this distributed firewall, if I draw a segment here, so the scenario looks something like this. Okay, so let me draw the scenario first. Okay, consider this is my PC. Okay, consider this is my system. This is my system. Okay, consider this is a network. Just a minute. Public or private network. Consider this is a public or private network. So next, after that, the firewall with IPsec. So consider this is my firewall. Okay. Consider this is my firewall with IPsec. Firewall with IPsec. This is Ethernet switch. This is an Ethernet switch. This is again system. Better termed as PC. Now, how it actually connected, how the scenario is getting connected. So the system, consider this system is connected with this particular public or private network, right? So it is connected with some public or private network. So how it is look like that scenario is there are three segments, that is IP header, IPsec header, and IP payload. First one we can talk about, this is IP header. So this is IP. Second one is IPsec, and third one is IP header, IPsec header, and secure IP payload. Last one is secure IP payload. So this three part is their secure IP payload. So IPsec, IP header, secure IP payload. These three things actually works how it looks like, right? So the thing is connected something like this. Now the public or private network, from that particular part, there are two segments. One is connecting with this particular firewall with IPsec, and another one is connecting with this firewall with IPsec. Means two different domains, two different particular platforms, and all the things are connected. This is connected with this particular scenario. This is connected with this particular scenario. From this, it is connected. It is connected. This is connected. This is connected. And all the time, this IPsec, the system is connected. Everything have the security. So from that, this IPsec, IP payload means the same scenario. I am talking about these particular things. It is present also here at here in this particular two segment, and here also something is IP and IP payload. These two things is also present. Means the same. This thing is present at this point, at this point, at this point, at this point. So all the things is a present. So this is the security system, the IP network that and the payload that is connected with each other. So this is the VPN security scenario, the virtual private network that is connected with the help of some firewall with IPsec, with some Ethernet switch, with some Ethernet switch. Now coming back to the point, that is distributed firewall. It makes sense to establish both an internal and external security, right? The distributed firewall is working or having the connection with the internal, external, external DMZ. So this web server that needs, the web servers actually need some less protection because web servers is already present in some outer world. So we don't need to think about the security of the, because we always think the internal security. Then, so these web servers have a critical or less protections. So there's a less critical information on them because most of the information is stored in the local servers or the from the client side. The security is needed in the client side because web server has less data. So this important aspect of the distributed firewall configuration is security monitoring. So the target for distributed firewall configuration is the term is security monitoring. So monitoring, typically what are the things are included in this monitoring part? Log aggregation, analysis, firewall statistics, and remote monitoring. So the monitoring, the terms into the part of monitoring, what are the things included? First one is log aggregation. Second one, the analysis. Third one, the firewall statistics. Fourth one, and lastly, the fourth one that is needed as the remote monitoring. So these are the four terms that comes under the security monitoring part. The VPN is actually doing this security type of monitoring in the scenario. So this firewall locations. So there are two types, that one is present into the host resident firewall. So host resident firewall means that this category, this type of host resident firewalls includes the personal firewall software and also the softwares on the servers, the personal firewall softwares and on the servers also. So these firewalls can be used as a part of an firewall deployment. So host resident firewall putting on the host side, screening routers, a single router between an internal and external network with stateless or full packet filtering, right? So packet filtering is also a process screening the packets whether it is lost, damaged or any corrupted. This type of things are present into the part of the process. It's the part of this procedure, right? So these firewalls, the different types of firewalls, the segments, the host resident firewalls, all are actually doing with the terms, are actually working with actually with the terms of each other, right? So this base, there are base station, single base station line, base station C, double base station inline. There are several types of security measurement that is present into our firewall part, right? So this host-based firewall that we are going to talking about, this base station bastion host-based firewall. The host-based firewall is actually what a software module used to secure an individual host. So if I'm talking about this host-based firewall, it is actually a software module that is used to secure an individual host, and these modules are available in many operating systems, or it is present in different type of operating system, or can be provided as an add-on package. So like this standalone firewalls we are talking about, the firewalls filters and restrict the flow of the packets. So the standalone, along with the standalone firewalls, this host system firewalls also filters and restrict the flow of the packets. And a common location we can say about the firewall is the server. So what are the advantages to use a server-based, workstation-based firewall? That this filtering rules, it can be tailored to the host environment. Specific corporate policies for the servers can be implemented with different types of filters. Protection is provided also. So the thing is that host-based firewall, what are the advantages of host-based firewall if we're talking about? First point is that the filtering rules can be implemented. Filtering rules can be implemented. Second one, after the filtering rules, we can say that protection is provided independent of topology. Protection can be provided independent on topology. And third one, we can say talk about that with the help of this standalone firewall, the hosted firewall provides an additional layer of protection. For the server, it can add the network, its own firewalls without the necessity of altering the network. And also with that, every system have a personal firewall that controls the traffic between the personal computer and the workstation on the other side of the internet. So the personal firewall, the part of the personal firewall, if I'm talking about personal firewall, it is present in the personal computer side, and it actually controls the traffic between the personal system and the outer connection. So this personal firewall is also a software module for the personal computer, and in the particular multiple computers connected with the internet, this firewall functionality can be found in a router with the help of the router that connects all the computers with a particular scenario. And this personal firewalls are actually, this personal firewall software module is actually inbuilt with different type of operating system. Means every operating system, whether it is Windows, Linux, Mac, every operating system has this personal firewall connection. When actually this depend on the user whether enable or disable. So when the user enables this personal firewall, All inbound connections are denied except for this user's specific permission. So when a firewall is getting connected or getting enabled, the users have to give permit every time what data can actually come through that particular firewall. They can set up the connection, they can do the changes. So firewall connection can be modified with the end of the personal user, from the side of this personal user, right? So this firewalls and the particular talking about, so attacks with different type of attacks happening into the firewall side. So some stateful inspection firewall is processing there. So this means it is a traditional packet filtering process. Means when I'm talking about, it controls the packet filtering. So the traditional packet filtering makes a filtering decision on an individual packet basis and does not take into consideration any higher layer context. So when this packet filtering process is happening, or to make the filtering decision that what data can be filtered to come in or get out. So an individual package, so on each and every package that is coming through the firewall, that is coming to the firewall, actually it gets inspected, the package gets filtered and does not take into consideration or does not need any consideration of higher layers. So to understand this, what is actually this? A traditional packet filter is limited with some regarding some context, right? So the term TCP flow, that is following a client server model. So TCP follows a client server model. We all know that TCP follows a client server model. So this TCP that is following some client server model, the simple mail, the protocol, that is SMTP. We have heard the term protocol of the SMTP protocol, that is simple mail transfer protocol. An email is transmitted from a client system to a server system, right? So with the help of this SMTP, email can be transmitted from a client system to a server system. The client system generates a new email messages from the user input actually. So this SMTP forms or the server systems accepting the incoming email messages and places them in the appropriate user's mailbox. So there are several clients are connected with the server. So maybe at the same time several messages can be connected, several messages can be coming to the server. So depending upon that, the server needs to respond that the email is coming from which actually client needs to deliver to which particular point, right? So that's why the server needs to be checked each and every package, every messages, to get the details of the destination's IP address. Otherwise, it is not possible to deliver the particular message at their perfect location, right? So this SMTP is helping, this SMTP protocol is helping there, and also with the help of this TCP connection between the client server, the TCP port number, all our things are actually accumulated, all the things are connected with each other to deliver the message into the perfect location, right? So these are the terms, or this inspection firewall is actually very important. The firewall is actually doing a large security task into the scenario, right? So when this application that is using some TCP for creating a session with some remote host, so it creates a TCP connection where the TCP port number for the remote server application is accepted. So TCP is creating a session with the remote server, is creating a session with the remote servers for the particular processes and accepting the port numbers, connecting through that particular port number that is going on. And packet filtering firewall must permit the inbound network traffic actually on all these ports actually. So if the packet filtering firewall does not allow to process this inbound data, then the message will not be passed. So inbound, the packet filtering firewall have to permit the inbound network traffic on all the high number ports for TCP based traffic to occur. And the stateful inspection that is happening, the packet filtering that is doing the inspection on the packet. So tightens up the rules for the TCP by creating a directory for the outbound TCP connection. So inbound data, they are looking that they have to give some permit for the TCP ports, but they have strict connection on the outbound data, looking for the data that is going out of the scenario, and entry for each currently established connection, and a table is there to maintain the entry for each established connection. So the packet filter will allow incoming traffic to high number ports only for those packets that fit the particular of the entry of the directory. So for the high number packets or high number ports, it will allow the particular, it will allow the incoming data to process. It will allow the incoming data for the processes, right? So these firewalls have different types of behaviors or characteristics. That is some service control, direction control, user control, and behavior control. So this firewall have this type of characteristics. We have already discussed about this characteristics in our previous classes. So the scenario is the firewall. Whenever we are talking about some security of the PC or anything, we just always comes up with some mind of the antiviruses, this type. But apart from those antivirus, all these things, the system has itself a high level secure software module that is known as firewall. But very few of us actually is applying that firewall into our system for the security purpose, because the firewall, whenever we are going to actually allow the firewall to provide us a security, it will block many things and it will create a situation that each and every time we need to give permission for the process to allow that, right? So that's why the firewalls have some advantages and have some disadvantages also. Advantages is giving the security, it provides the security that we needed, but disadvantage is also that each and every time the permission to give the permit, that is also needed here. So that is a little bit hectic thing actually, right? So the firewalls, the IPsec, the VPN, virtual private network, all the terms are actually interconnected, interrelated for the process, for the security process actually. So this packet filter firewalls that we are talking about, that it is not examine any upper layer data for higher layer code actually. So this disadvantage, it has a disadvantage. What disadvantage we can talk about? That it cannot prevent attack that employ application specific vulnerabilities or functions, because the packet filter firewall must allow the traffic that have high, means the higher upper layer data or high number port that is having there. So that data have to be allowed. So that cannot prevent attacks that employing the application specific vulnerabilities or any type of function. So as an example, we can say that a packet filter firewall cannot block any specific applications command. And if a packet filter firewall allows a given application, all functions available within that application will be permitted. So because of this limited information available to the firewall, the logging functionality present in packet filter firewalls actually is limited. So packet filters log normally contains the same information used to make access and control decisions. These are the scenario of this packet filters layer one. So then the network layer address spoofing is there. Network layer address spoofing. This network layer address spoofing is actually that the packet filter firewalls have a tendency to get attacked and exploit the advantages for the problems that TCP specification and protocol stack. So that happens what? As a term, as a result, that network layer address spoofing may be happen. So many packet filter firewalls cannot detect a network packet with some higher layer data. So that there is a problem. So IP address spoofing that we are talking about, that address spoofing, that the intruders. What is this IP address spoofing actually? The intruders transmits packets from the outside with a source IP address field containing an address of the internal host. So what happening? The attacker already have the internal host address. So the intruders transmit packets from the outside with a source IP address field containing an address with an internal host. So the attacker hopes, what the attacker thinks actually, that use of a spoofed address will allow the penetration into the system. Penetration means that to get into the system and employ the simple source address security, in which the packets from specific trusted internal hosts are accepted. This scenario happens. Source routing attacks can also be considered here. What happens in source routing attacks? In source routing attacks, what is happening actually that the source station, it specifies the route that a packet should take it as per the. So whenever a data is transmitting, the router is actually looking into the scenario that on which route the data or path can be identified for the transmission of the data. So the source station specifies the route that a packet should take, and it hopes that will bypass the security measures that do not analyze the source routing information. Right. So that source routing attacks, it is attacking on the routers, the source path, finding out the path on which the data is going to transmit it, and then attacking on that particular scenario. Then there is one attack, that is tiny fragment attacks, that the intruders use the IP fragmentation option to create some small fragments and force the TCP header information into the separate packet fragment. So these scenarios, this type of attacks can also be happen into the firewalls due to some mainly for the packet filtering process. Okay, so this type of things are happening. There are okay. So this TCP based client established connections or an object is reachable only via for firewall. So firewall have the security advantage, also the disadvantages for the purposes. So these are the part, or these are the topic on the firewall that we have discussed, or the scenario is going on. So the firewall, there is personal firewall, there is server based firewall, there is the, we can say, system based firewall, database firewall. So the concept of firewall is several types of firewall. Bastion firewall is there, Bastion based host based firewall is there, resident firewall is there. So a system, if we get into the system, there is a several types of security measures that is present in our firewall system, right? And this firewall providing all type of security that have the advantage and disadvantage, but the scenario is we always don't actually use that firewall and network protection due to some problems that may create several types of problems into our system for the purposes, right? So if I show you one thing, just a minute. Look, this is a firewall and network protection. So everything is on. There is several things, several different sectors we can see, right? The domain network, the firewall is on. Private network, that is VPN, actually virtual private network, the firewall is on. The private network, it is active, the firewall is on. So there are, for every other sector, we can actually create a segment, whether we can choose that which actually needs to be off, which actually needs to be on. Allow an app through firewall, if we here connected, if we actually allow, so we are going to allow several app through the firewall. Okay, so here we can see there are several, just a minute. Look, when I have allowed and allowed, so there are these are the applications that is allowed through the firewall. So we can control that which things we actually bypass, we actually allow. So there is a thing that Zoom phone account. So if I actually allow this private and public sector, then it is that is why these things is allowed into the firewall. Passing the data is passed through the firewall. If I close any one of these, the Zoom will directly close down right now. So if I choose any of the unmarked any of this, the Zoom will going to be closed. So the thing we can control with the help of the thing, the security is controlled from our end, right? So we can control the security, we can control all the scenarios, all the things, depending upon the scenario, what we can do, what we can choose, right? So the firewall, the safety of the firewall, we can deal with very easily, and it gives a good protection also. So that's why we don't need actually any type of antiviruses is separately to keep our data secure, right? So this is up to today's particular part, the firewall we have talked. Up to this particular part, we are going to talk, we are going to discuss. In the next class, we are going to start another new topic, because this firewall topic is going to close or is end today. So let's see what new topic we can discuss in our next classes, right? So I hope all of you have, okay, I didn't see that any of you have write down names. So kindly write down names in the chat box for the attendance purpose, so that I can have the record. Okay. Now another thing is, Dolly, you can start the project meeting just at 3:45. Okay. So tell everyone to join and let us have a discussion that what is the problem and what can be the scenario. Okay. So at 3:45, start the Zoom meeting and inform me. So I will be present into the meeting. Okay. So thank you all for
Okay.
joining into the session. Stay safe and take care. Thank you.